Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today I am sharing with you all of the magical realism, sci-fi, and fantasy books I have on my physical TBR. So I decided to combine these three genres because I don't have many in each of them. I am doing this series where I share a little bit about each of the books I have on my physical TBR in hopes of having you giving me recommendations, but also sparking a want to read each of the books on my TBR, reminding me what I actually have on my shelves. So let's jump right in. The first is The Immortalists by Chloe Benjamin. This one follows 4 adolescents as they visit a psychic of sorts, and she tells each of them the day that they will die. So then we follow their lives as they live, knowing in the back of their mind what day they are going to die. Sounds super good, and I really like the cover. I think I got this one used too. So these are magical realism, by the way. I only have 2. So the second one on the magical realism shelf, magical realist shelf, is The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates. This one could also maybe fit in the historical fiction category, but there's a magical element, and so that's why I put it in the magical realism video. It's a dramatic story of generations of Black men and women who are in bondage to slavery. Specifically, we follow a young Hiram Walker whose mother was sold away from him, and so he was robbed of all memory of her, but was gifted with a mysterious power. That's all I want to know going into it. Now moving on to sci-fi, or what I think is sci-fi because that's the first genre that was listed. So the first is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I have never seen this cover for this book before, so I've seen this one. I'll pop it right here. But this is a dystopian book where a group of young adults are in a boarding school, and when they escape from their boarding school or just get away, they see what's really going on in the world. Another book that sounds very, very similar is Lexicon by Max Berry. Also a dystopian with another school setting, but this one students aren't taught the normal geography, mathematics, history. Instead, they are taught the art of persuasion, coercion, manipulation. And so I think we follow a few characters after they have left the school and their life on how this education has helped them in the future. And lastly, on the sci-fi shelf, which all of these are dystopian, which maybe that's just typical for sci-fi. I don't read much sci-fi. Anyway, we have The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. This is the sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, which I really, really liked. This, again, is a dystopian where women are used and abused for their reproduction. I watched the Hulu series where they continue after the first book, and I liked what they did with Offred's story, but I think this one takes a different turn, and it's weird because it was published after the Hulu series came out, and the author took a different path with it, obviously, because it's her story and the Hulu writers did something different. But anyway, I'm excited to see what Margaret Atwood did with this story and the characters. And now we have the fantasy books, which some of them are more historical fantasy, but I'm counting them as fantasy because there's time travel and whatever. The first 2 are Written in My Own Heart's Blood and An Echo and the Bone by Diana Gabaldon. This is number 7 and 8 in the Outlander series. This series follows Claire as she travels back in time from the 1940s back to the 1700s in Scotland. And it is a huge sweeping saga about her life and a man that she falls in love with in the past named Jamie. So I don't know specifically what these ones are about, but I have read the first 6 and feel like I need to continue with the series. I was talking about this with some people on some sprints the other day, though, that if it's not enjoyable, why continue and read 1,000-page books? But I don't know, I just feel like I have to know. And the 9th one of these just came out, and so I don't know if Diana Gabaldon is planning on finishing the series anytime soon. I have no clue what's going on with this series arc, but I have these too on my shelves. Then Diana Gabaldon wrote an offshoot series of Outlander, which is called the Lord John series, I think, that follows a character, minor character in the Outlander series. Lord John is a friend of Jamie's, and so we have Lord John and the Private Matter, and Lord John and the Brotherhood of the Blade. Now it's interesting because I was doing research and I thought that this one was the second in the series, The Private Matter, but it says right on the front, the first Lord John Grey novel. So that's great that I have the first one. But then I think the Brotherhood of the Blade is number 4. So maybe we'll try out the first one. If I like it, I'd get the others from the library or something. But these were actually from library book sales. So I wanted to get them when I was really into Outlander. And I do like Lord John Grey's character, and so it'd be fun to see. Also, these ones I think have more of a mystery element. So that could be kind of exciting to try those out. And then rounding off these shelves, we have the Lord of the Rings trilogy plus The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm not going to explain this one. Everybody knows Lord of the Rings. Except I don't really know what it's about. I know it's like this group of people that are trying to get a ring to save the world. To save the world from evil. Maybe. Anyway, it's one that I've always wanted to read, but I don't know if epic high fantasy is for me. We'll see. Eventually I'll read it, I think. Maybe with my husband, because I think he's read the first one. Anyway, these are the 13 books on my magical realism, sci-fi, and fantasy shelves. Of these 13 books, which ones do you think I should read first? Should I prioritize one of them over all of the rest? Let me know. I am working on adding a prompt. Once I'm finished with all of these physical TBR videos, I will add prompts to my deck of TBR game in which viewers get to choose which book. So the prompt would say magical realism, physical TBR, and if someone commented a magical realism book, which I know there's only 2, but if someone commented on here with that, I would then read that book as a part of my TBR for the month. So let me know down below if you think I should read any of these. I have already filmed 4 or 5 of these. I've done classics, book of the month, historical fiction, and romance. I think that's it. So 4 of them. This is my 5th, but I also have quite a few to go. I've got contemporary, mystery thriller, nonfiction, which I will also include plays and poetry in that one. I have YA middle grade shelf. I have a bunch of books on my Kindle that I'm just going to lump all together. And then I have a shelf of books that I don't actually own, but have been lent to me by people. A whole shelf of like 25 books. So that'll be another video too. So those are coming. Look forward to those. If you want to be notified when those come out, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell so you can know when I come out with more content. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.